that I have frozen pipes and stuff like that. There is one that has got kind of a questionable outside faucet. I will have to take some care on, but other than that, all the rest of them are fine. And we'll get that taken care of for her. And I'm gonna come back home and do nothing the rest of the day. And then, of course, then tomorrow and the rest of that. Tomorrow I got to work at the church. They had some monitors. We're having a big whoop-de-doo at the church next Sunday, the dedication. Although we've been using the building for 3 years now, I think. Finally having a dedication for the thing, and they had 2 monitors in the one room that we use for dinner and for meetings. And they moved the monitors down, and there were some holes in the wall. One fellow fixed all the holes, but I've got to redo the wiring. But I've got to get in there. Of course, the place is closed today, so I can't get. I was wanting to work on it today, but with the holiday, the office is closed, so I can't get into the building. I got to get up there and see what's on top of the ceiling, see how I can fish the wires down and get them behind the wall. So that'll be that'll probably I'll figure a whole day trip tomorrow working on that, but yeah, it'll be worthwhile. Since I am on the properties committee, and anything that usually that goes wrong that needs repair, they look for me to come out and at least give them an opinion on it. So with that, I'm going to send this down to up to Raleigh, AB4CH, W2Z DP.
Okay, Wayne. Well, good morning, everyone. And Wayne, just to answer your question, it was January 2000. We had 20 inches in central North Carolina of snow, that is. And 2 years after that, we had, I think, 10.8 or something like that. Anyway, it does snow, but not very often. Let's see. Speaking of snow, I was up in the North Carolina mountains this past week, and had a real good time at my friend John's place. Went up in his mountain. He bought about 120 some acres up in Yancey County, and we got in his gator and explored a small portion of it. There was 3 inches of snow on the ground, and you could see all the deer prints in the snow, and we followed the deer trail and went up around. He's got a mica mine. It's not working, but an old mica mine. I got some samples from there, and we just had a big old time. So anyway, I plan to go back in the spring and in the warmer weather and enjoy it some more. So with that, I guess it goes way down to Allen. N4GGC, take her away. AB4 Charlie Hotel.
AB4 Charlie Hotel, this is N4GGC. I'm way down here. Got 18 degrees. Talking way down. Yeah, it's 18 this morning. I think it was 17 when I first looked at it. It's gotten a little bit warmer. Now the sun is starting to peep over the mountain here. Well, today's inauguration day. I plan on spending some time watching TV. I like to somehow take part in historic events like that. And yeah, thoughts on the Maryland Police Department. I would say that one must look at what generation is now in charge, and it's our children. And I think I can say for sure that most of us did not do a very good parenting thing, because obviously they don't know about some very simple social things that we need to do in order to get along. But anyhow, I don't want to get on that soapbox. If you want to talk to me, give me a call on the phone. We'll talk. But I'm looking forward to looks like a sunny day, and I don't think it's going to snow here. It did not snow yesterday, however, it was predicted, and I sat and watched for it, and it never happened. And it was a rather warm day, and some more of the ice started to slush up and melt off, so I was happy for that. And so that's good. It's all good. All right, back to P25 Paul, WB2CYJ in for GGC.
All righty, Alan. Hey, great. Great comments all the way around on round one. And, yeah, I guess we'll probably watch some of the inauguration as well. I do plan on migrating over to Rustyburg and see what's happening over there, and probably burn some wood in the wood stove as it gets colder. I have some wood brought into the screen room, which is accessible from the inside of the house through a sliding door. So get that. At least I can, scoot in there, grab some wood, and come back in the house without having to go way out. Oh boy, yeah. So that's probably what we'll be doing. And I'm looking at contracting with Rosetta Stone. I think it's Rosetta Stone. They've got a 3-month Polish immersion thing, and I might try to do that so I'm not totally lost as far as what people are saying. My sister will probably go high tech. She's got an iPhone or something that's got an app on it. Probably, all you got to do is put it in record mode, and it'll probably print out in English what it is. I don't know. I don't know how good that is. This AI stuff is just ridiculous. If you're on Facebook at all, look at some of the AI-generated garbage. It'll give you something, but don't believe it half the time. It'll mix facts up from other places and twist everything around. So, boy, if people start believing what AI is putting out, they're going to be sadly mistaken, I think. They got a ways to go to make that work right. And so much for that. I another little soapbox I was on. And Karen, thanks for the loan of the laptop. We'll see if we can make it work. And also anxiously awaiting to see what Linwood's up to there with his latest project. So, do we have anyone that wants to join Joker's Net before we start round 2? Call now. Okay, Karen, back to you at K4IRS, WB2CYJ.
WB2CYJ, K4IRS. Yes, the apps on the iPhone are pretty good. I don't think they're running on AI. I don't like AI either, but a lot of Hispanics that don't have good English language, use the apps on their phone to communicate. So we know it has to work. And Alan, I'm on the same soapbox that you're on. I feel the same way politically. But I am looking forward greatly to the inauguration, and I'm going to park myself in front of the TV set. I'm glad they moved it indoors, not just for the weather, but for security. And I don't have much else to say. Ray is visiting his son, and he's going to stay for the inauguration and go home tomorrow morning, so he'll be back with us. And I'll just say 7-3 and pass this to Linwood, K2LLC, K4IRS.
Okay, Linwood, K2 LLZ, K4DER. Good enough. Good to hear everyone this morning. We've gone from 17 degrees to 18 degrees, and it's not going to get above freezing, though, I'm afraid. All right, interesting on the snow coming to Lake Charles. I spent a couple of weeks in Lake Charles back in, in the 70s. Was testing some equipment at one of the refineries down there. Interesting time it was. Well, I renewed my ham license last week, and I was expecting the license by email sometime Thursday or Friday, and had not seen it. So I doubt anything will happen today. So I'll check it next week and see. I do have the receipt for $35 for paying the fee, so at least I got that. All right, well, everyone have a good day and enjoy the inauguration and see what is going to happen. And down at UH, K4TM, K4DER, 7-8.
Whoa, all the way from you to me. What a drop there, Builder. And let's see. Not a whole lot. I'm going to get another cup of coffee and a piece of toast. I've got Fox News on. Linwood, what's the link so I could look at your live streaming? If you gave the link, I missed it when Sue said something. Over. Okie dokie. Thank you. At any rate, I always enjoy the tinkering that Linwood does. I was reading an article in an old issue. It wasn't real old, maybe a year or two, about a ham up in the Chicago area that moved from his residence where he had towers and all that sort of thing into a condominium in a big tall building, and he was remoting from that and with Raspberry Pi, and I got so confused reading that article. I thought, this article is going to dissuade people from operating remotely. It's so complicated that you had to be an engineer to follow it. But any rate, there's got to be a simpler way than what he did, that's for sure. Any rate, maybe just logging on with W2RE up there in Maine and remoting from up there, that would be something. Whew, big towers, man. Any rate, glad people have the money and the time to do that. And he climbs his own towers, too. I saw him replacing a rotor on one of them at 100 feet. Whew, what a view. Any rate, I'll send it on down to that mountaintop. Well, you can't really call it a mountaintop, but that little hilltop down in Pittsylvania County, and Mark's signal is getting out fairly decently, so the ice from his antenna must have melted. N5HZI, K4TM in the foothills of the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, 73.
Yeah, the little mouse station squeaking along here at 100 whole watts. Anyway. Yeah, they're supposed to have lows down in Lake Charles tonight, early tomorrow morning in the teens. I haven't seen temperatures like that in quite a long, long time. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen the teens in the whole 41 years I lived there. So that's pretty amazing. I know it's happened before in the past. Matter of fact, I've actually seen the river frozen over during Thanksgiving, and those rivers are not small. It's a good 100 yards across. But yeah, pretty amazing to see when you can roll a penny across a river. But that don't happen too often. In '99 when I left, as a matter of fact, we didn't hit 32 degrees the whole winter. So this is pretty drastic stuff. And I tell you, they're not even close to being prepared. So that people are going to have extended vacations this week. Probably Tuesday for sure, Wednesday most probably, and into Thursday as well. Depending on what the temperatures get to down there. Because like I said, there's no snow removal equipment whatsoever unless you got a broom. That's about all the snow removal equipment there is, and the only snow blowers. It ought to be one heck of an interesting time. The last time I remember seeing over 4 or 5 inches of snow was in 1973, and we were kids, and we had a blast. It was just outstanding. Got almost 6 inches. Anyhow, that's all the ramping I got for today. Everybody have an absolute wonderful day, and we'll hopefully repeat this mess again tomorrow. W2ZDP, N58ZI.
Well, very good. N58ZI, W2ZDP. Yeah, it'll be real interesting for them down there. It's 3 to 5 inches or 3 to 6 inches of snow. It'll be interesting to see them slipping and sliding down there. See what the Bourbon Street's like. They'll walk around like they're drunks and they wouldn't have anything to drink yet. Well, like I say, not a whole lot going on here today. Gonna just take care of make sure that my friends' places are winterized on the outside, and then come home and sit around and do a whole lot. I got a couple of small projects to do here, but nothing earth shaking. And we'll get those. So we'll hope that we'll see everyone tomorrow, and we'll see what the week brings us as far as snow. We can always hope we get a foot of snow down here. It's you gotta wish for something anyway. But maybe I don't think this is winter's last hurrah, but it's probably the worst hurrah for winter this year. I think this will be the worst of the weather. So once we get through this, it'll be a normal winter. So down to Mike, AEB4CH, W2ZDP.
All right, Wayne. Well, I don't think we're gonna get a foot of snow. When I was a kid, my dad used to hold my feet as I crawled out the front door screen and dug a hole so we could open the door, and then I'd dig away the snow to the street and then go down the street if it were plowed and try to dig out his car so he could go to work. Anyway, yeah, we had some snow. It was lake effect snow up there in Johnson City, Binghamton area, and we would get, a foot was nothing. 3 feet, even. And I had to school. A lot of times, the crust of the snow would break through, and you'd be up to your waist in snow. So, lots of fun. It was a good workout for your legs, though. Anyway, not a whole lot to report. Karen, gosh, I'm sorry your son had to go through that, but it's really a great thing that he tried to help his friend. And I've taken CPR and several times when I was in maintenance and other jobs, and it's it's changed over the years, but it's something that you almost have to be in pretty good shape. Otherwise, the outcome may not work out, and sometimes you can't help the person you're trying to save. Enough of that. Anyway, I guess it goes down to Ellen again, N4GGC, and take her away, Ellen.
Okay. AB4CH, N4GGC. Yeah, way down here again. Oh, it's 18 degrees. I'm going to sit on the couch today, no joke. I'm going to watch a bunch of TV. I might get back here to shot and pedal a little bit if it gets boring. I remember, taking some CPR way back when. Fortunately, I never had to use it. I almost did one time. It could come in handy if you're a broadcast engineer, because we work with a lot of high voltage stuff, and they wanted us to know how to resuscitate someone who got a shock. But I had the chief engineer I worked with down in Winston-Salem had a heart condition, and we were on the top of a mountain in Forsyth County at a transmitter site, working on a transmitter, and he started having one of his attacks. Luckily, it wasn't something that required resuscitation, but did require immediate response, and I got on the phone, and I got the rescue squad. I picked him up, I put him in our vehicle, and met the ambulance halfway up, and he survived, and it was good. He's a close friend. I sure didn't want to lose him either, and he lived a little while longer. He finally succumbed to his heart condition. Sad to say, and he was sort of a mentor as well, so I miss him. And think about him often. But I know what you're saying about sometimes you can't save everybody. At one point in my life, I thought I might want to be a physician, and I think that was one of the things that weighed heavily on my decision, is maybe I didn't want to put myself in there. It might have been a little bit too much for me emotionally. So I did what I did. Okay. I think I'm just going to flip it back up to P25 and see what everybody else, what he has to say, and I guess we're probably about done with this net. I don't know, unless somebody has a comment, but I'm not going to say it because Paul needs to say that. WP2CYJ N4GGC.
Oh, okay, Alan. Hey, Mike, you mentioned Johnson City, and that rang a bell with me. This is a real long shot. I had a friend that grew up in Johnson City and went to college with him, and unfortunately he's a silent key now, but I wonder if you knew the name John DeCirio. That's a long shot, because there's a lot of people in Johnson City.
No, I didn't. I left when I was 17. Sounds like a Johnson City name, though, for sure. I knew guys by last name Peter Zelachevsky, and we call him Zell for short. But anyway, no, I didn't know that individual. Over.
Okay, like I said, it was a long shot, and coming through the school system, whether you rub shoulders with them, you're about the right age. So anyway. Yeah, he said if his engineering career didn't work out, he'd go back home and make a shoe. Oh, dear. Hey, some good stuff. And Mark, my gosh, yeah, 3 to 6 inches of snow. They won't be moving till spring down there. Man, it's just, ye gads. I can't imagine. They just don't have the way to deal with that stuff. Hopefully it'll warm up quick and it'll go away. So, hey, do we have any further comments before? And Linwood, I did get your text and looked at it, and that looks pretty cool. Any comments before we close on that?
Yeah, W2ZDP.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, W2ZDP here. CPR is a good skill to have. Having been a volunteer fireman for 23 years and working on an ambulance company, I used the CPR many, many times. Not always successful, but it's about a 20% chance, roughly, to survive. But without CPR, it's a 0% chance. So you have to, you got to do the best you can. But there was a fella. I was coming back home. Back to work from home from lunch, and we got a call, and it was right on my way back to work for a fellow who had a heart attack, and as it turned out, and it hit a house. And we got there, and I knew the fella. He was one of our suppliers for the business. Yeah, we did CPR on the guy and rushed him to the hospital, and he did survive. But the thing was, I never told him. I never told him that that I was part of the team that saved his life. Just to figure that was just better left unsaid. Didn't need all the notoriety. But yeah, CPR, I've got it. And anytime you do CPR, you're gonna crack ribs. W2ZDP.
Yeah. Okay. Goodness gracious. Yeah. My last wife, Debbie. And she was a ham too. She got her ham license, KK4DFV. Debbie's Fine Victuals was an EMT, and I actually went through some of the courses with her. They let me sit in the room, and some of the stuff was kind of scary. Anyway, great comments. Hey, we're up to 22 degrees on one thermometer and 24 on the other. It's warming up. Woohoo! Any further comments?
Bravo, actually.
Yeah, hey, welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, Paul, everybody. Zed. Well, I haven't checked in for a while. I usually don't get up this early, but I did today, and I was listening to KD1BX, and I had asked this question on 2 years a little while back on this program, or this company, or whatever it is. I was talking with Billy, and he didn't know anything about it either. And so I checked into it. That's called Ham Estate, where they come in and they evaluate all your equipment when you pass.